Welcome everybody to another What the Gundam. My name is Sean. You can call me Corticon. You either watch me at Pop Culture Network or on my YouTube channel. This is episode 1. I did have a pilot episode where I just wanted to get my feet wet. This one we're going to talk about Gundam, Gunpla, and Plamo. And really what they are and what they mean to me, and I'm sure what they mean to millions of people. I'm not going to go into grades or scales. I'm going to leave that for another episode because there's a whole episode to just talk about grades and scales. What I do want to talk about here is what is Gundam. I thought about the easiest way I could explain this. And for me, every Gundam, it doesn't matter if it's 0079, 0080, Age, Unicorn, Seed, you name it. They all have Gundam. They all have children, they all have love interests, and they all have enemies. And that's pretty much a lot of what Gundam is you have your Gundam. Gundam is technically the most advanced mobile suit. There's other mobile suits like as the Marasai here. This is a grunt mobile suit, as you can see 2 of them. You could army build this. This guy was actually a grunt, or he was being army built. But he turned into the Mark II, the white version, which was a Gundam. Gundam invokes the epitome of the best mobile suit. It's got the lightest metals, it's got the strongest weapons, it's got the fastest mobility, it's got everything. And that is a Gundam. Another thing that makes a Gundam up is his pilot. Usually, and always, his pilot is a young child who ends up stealing the mobile suit, doesn't realize he's a new type. Everybody else around him sees that he's a new type, and he has new type abilities that allows him to control his Gundam far above and beyond any normal human being is capable of controlling the Gundam. And you might ask, what is a new type? Well, new type is basically a person who has lived in space long enough to be able to hone in his psychic abilities to see the future, as you might say. Gundam is based on space colonies set in the future, and space colonies that live in outer space because it's a couple hundred years in the future. Well, not even really that, it's only a couple years now. And we have polluted the earth so bad that we are required, or we most likely required, to live in outer space to allow the earth to naturally heal itself. So we live in outer space, but what happens is we develop these new type abilities. Once we're in outer space, our souls are not weighed down or affected by gravity, and all of a sudden these new types start sprouting up. And they are the ones who pilot Gundams. But yes, every show is basically a child, a new type, an enemy, and a Gundam, and space colonies. And in one way or the sense, the Gundam's piloting, the new type is piloting the Gundam. You have a new type piloting the most hated enemy, what may that be, Char or some other new type. And then there's a love interest, who's usually a psycho new type or another new type. And the good new type piloting the Gundam usually kills his love interest, and he's got a lot to weigh on his shoulders. In a nutshell, that's basically Gundam to me. Now, what is Gunpla? Gunpla stands for Gundam Plastic Models. As you can see right here, this is I was showing this guy off because if you remember my last episode, I showed you the skeleton. It was the inner frame. This is the completed model. And I went in and I detailed them. You can see right here, instead of putting foil stickers, I detailed them with Gundam marker. I'm not done with the stickers. I like to take my Gundam slow, put the armor on, and just enjoy them. You can see I put a little gold highlights in the weapon, painted the thrusters up a little bit. I need to put another layer of yellow. I just like doing little touches, subtle, here and there. Not too fast, not too slow. That's Gundam. But there's more than just Gundam. Gundam is basically a model. Snap fit most of the time, unless you got it out of the 80s. It's articulated, and it's based on mobile suits. You have your regular Plamo. Plamo stands for Plastic Model Kit. Right here, perfect example of Plamo. You can find this in America, but the quality of the runners and the injection molding is subpar compared to what Bandai is able to create. Now, Bandai does not make all Plamo or Gunpla type models. There's also Kotobukiya. There's tons of other people out there, mainly in Japan, that make plastic models that are highly articulated. But we also have what Bandai has been doing the last couple years is right here. The Master Grade line, I don't know if you can see it up top here. The Master Grade, it originated from Gundam, okay? But Bandai has started to incorporate other trademarks and publishing them under the Master Grade line, as in this figurized line. This is the original Kamen Rider. I'm not a big Kamen Rider buff, but I really like the original show. Extremely trippy. It's out of this world, and I believe it first aired in 1969. So this is the original Power Ranger to me. Kamen Rider is still going big time in Japan, and I always like this suit. This right here is just a plastic model. He's highly articulated. I'm gonna build this guy up. We'll show him off, but you can see this guy is crazy. Comes with his own base. He's got an inner frame. He's put together very similar, almost exactly. You can see right here, there's the runners, and everything is snap fit. You got some decals, you got some stickers, then you've got heavy amounts of articulation. He stands about 9 inches when he's tall. This guy's about 5. This is a real grade. This is basically a Master Grade shrunken down to a 1144 real grade. To show you what a runner is, this is a used up runner from my real grade. You can see that they were able to injection mold separate colors into the runner. This was a major advancement in the 90s and has allowed Gunpla to be Gunpla. The different colors, all the variations, and Bandai is above and beyond any other manufacturer of plastic model kits, in my opinion. Their quality is outrageous. Just to give the basics, I think I covered it fair enough. My opinion on what Gundam is, Gunpla, Plamo, and where I see Bandai taking their inventions is right here. This, I believe, appeals to a lot more people than Gundam can, because imagine what you can do here. It's not just Kamen Rider that they're dabbling in. You can see Dragon Ball Z. They got some amazing Dragon Ball Z figures that are the figurized line. They just come out with Bunny and Tiger. Very funny cartoon. I could see a Marvel. I could see a DC. I could see anybody with a figurized tagline on it. And that makes me extremely excited. But I have my Gundam. Very excited about my Gundam. And this is what makes a real grade. Just to show you guys. See this leg? Remember all that inner frame? There's pistons in here. Now you can see the back. See that little panel? Just so subtly moves. When you move this, see how the knee plate stays? Watch this part. It's very subtle, but it moves with the armor. That is a remarkable feat of engineering that you really have to build to appreciate. And I highly recommend anybody getting their hands on a Gundam, on a figurized, even a Plamo. Great time spent. Thank you very much for watching. Till next time, y'all.